The room went dead silent when the crack echoed. Not a metaphorical crack. An actual, sickening snap of plastic and glass as my boss slammed the prototype onto the conference table, shards skidding toward the client's briefcase. He didn't even look at me. He smirked at them and said, loud enough for everyone to hear, "This is trash. We'll do it again." My throat closed. 3 months of sleepless nights shattered in one careless motion. And in that exact second, while everyone stared at the ruins of my work, I made a decision I would never regret. I nodded. I apologized. I picked up the broken pieces with shaking hands while my boss launched into a joke about junior mistakes. The client forced a laugh, uncomfortable but polite. That's what hurt the most, not the insult, but the ease with which my boss rewrote the story. Suddenly, the failure was mine. Suddenly, he was a savior who would fix it. What no one in that room knew was that the prototype he destroyed wasn't the only one. That night, I didn't sleep. I didn't cry either. I opened my laptop and pulled up the private repository I created on my own time. The real prototype lived there, the one with the optimized code, the refined design, the feature my boss had dismissed as unnecessary because he didn't understand it, the feature the client had actually asked for in their first email. I remembered every meeting where my boss talked over me, every presentation where my slides became his slides. Every time he said, "We don't need to credit everyone. This is a team win," while somehow only his name ended up on a report. So I fixed one last bug at 3:17 a.m. and watched the system run flawlessly. Then I did something bold. I checked the client's email address from the contract, the one my boss insisted all communication go through him, and I drafted a short, careful message. "I'm sorry about what happened today. I believe there was a misunderstanding about the prototype's readiness. I'd appreciate the chance to show you the complete version privately before work restarts." I hovered over send. Then I clicked it. The reply came faster than I expected. The next afternoon, I booked a small demo room across the street, using my own name. No company logo. No boss. Just me and a working product. The client arrived with a neutral expression that shifted into interest within 5 minutes. Then surprise. Then something close to excitement. "This," they said quietly, "is what we thought we were getting." I showed them the logs, the version history, the timestamps that proved the work was mine. I didn't insult my boss. I didn't raise my voice. I just told the truth and let the software speak for itself. 2 days later, the company called an emergency meeting. My boss walked in confident, already talking. He stopped mid-sentence when he saw the client sitting beside the CEO. The air felt heavier than the day he broke my prototype. This time, I didn't look down. The client stood up. "We've decided to move forward with a revised partnership," they said, "but only under the condition that the lead developer on this project is reassigned." My boss laughed. "Once. That won't be necessary." The CEO didn't laugh back. What followed wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic in the way movies make it. It was quiet, precise, and devastating. Questions about ownership, about conduct, about why a senior manager thought public humiliation was acceptable. My boss tried to interrupt. He tried to joke. He tried to deflect. And then the client said the words I'll never forget. "If this is how you treat the people who actually build your product, we'll take our investment elsewhere." Silence. By the end of the week, my boss was pursuing other opportunities. I was promoted into the role he'd gatekept for years. The prototype was rebuilt, stronger, cleaner, unmistakably mine. On my first day with a new title, I walked past the conference room. The table had been replaced. The surface was smooth, unscarred. I smiled, not because I'd won, but because I'd never had to break anything to prove my worth.